We're driving a 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Coming up, I'm going to do a whole video while attempting not to call it a Sport Cross, which is the wagon version of the old Lexus IS 300. Fingers crossed. But first, information explosion! Sweetie, do you know what this vehicle, the Atlas Cross Sport, competes with?
I do not.
Well, let me tell you. The answer is the Ford Edge, the Jeep Grand Cherokee perhaps, Honda Passport, Nissan Murano, and maybe the Chevy Blazer. How does this thing compare to all of those vehicles? Well, we haven't driven all of them. Well, I have actually, but we're not going to do it right now. Let's just talk about this one, interior. As we come to our traditional stoplight, a great way to start off any video. Sweetie, when you look at the interior of the Volkswagen Atlas Sport Cross, what do you see? What do you think?
I see contrast in that I see this super nice burgundy leather with the actual stitching that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then there's all this hard plastic. This door bin is so flimsy.
Yeah, not to put our iguana to work too early, but the lower you go, the harder it gets.
Whoa. That iguana does not lie.
It's true. There are some real hard plastics down here. And that's the kind of thing that you wouldn't really mind were it not for, at least in this case, this particular Atlas Cross Sport is $51,000. Oh, freeze frame that. That'll be our still for the YouTubes.
Oh no. Yeah, it kind of made me wonder if this might actually look better in a lower trim because the hard plastic would be less jarring.
And man, you are doing that thing again. You don't know, but you know. You've got the stitching right here, which makes the fake stitching on the dash seem a little bit more obvious. Gentlemen, ladies, here's the plan. We're going to make it look like stitching by making it in the pattern. We just put it in the mold. It's very easy. And they'll be none the wiser.
Actually, that kind of works for me because my eyes are so bad that I'm like, oh, that must be real stitching.
If you look at slide number 7, you'll see the average American does not have 20/20 vision. It won't be an issue. Why, you'd have to have some sort of car reviewer / pilot come in here with amazing vision to be able to determine that that is not real stitching. Fraudulent stitching aside, let's talk about the seats. How's your seat comfort, sweetie?
I hadn't noticed it, so adequate.
I would agree. It's a very comfortable seat, and I like the fact that there's some lateral support happening up here without being too intrusive, and my lumbar support is adequate. I feel like we've gone a little bit negative starting off. Let's counter that with some praise. A little like the Volkswagen Passat we drove, this is a very roomy 5-passenger, 2-row SUV. Rear seat accommodations are ample. So if I do the sitting behind myself test, there's so much legroom. It's very, very comfortable. And then the rear seats do recline, but they do not slide. Don't even try and slide them. You can't. It can't be done.
Okay.
You weren't going to go back there and slide them, were you?
No, but I am going to put my purse in this enormous bin right here. Some people like a divided bin, like with little compartments where they can cram all their little bits.
You just like a massive hole.
I do. It's so handy for stowing away a purse when you want to go on a hike.
Over here next to the driver's left knee, there's a little storage area that's hidden that you can hide your precious minty lip balm. The door storage is outstanding. And then cargo space in the back is really good. It's like they took a Volkswagen Atlas, which is already a very large SUV, cut out the 3rd row, and then left the massive bin back there so you can put more than 40 cubic feet of stuff. That is exactly what happened, actually. But the cargo space back there, by getting rid of that 3rd row, there's a ton of space. And then if you fold the seats down, massive area, very flat load floor. I do wish that there were rear seat releases in the cargo area. You have to walk around the side to flip them down. But, you know, you don't want to get too privileged with your complaints, though that is my job.
Isn't that nice?
It is nice, yeah. Do you get paid to complain? Come on in, the water's fine. Though the water could be a little bit warmer.
There you go, there you go. Now you're doing your job.
Rear window test. Arm armrest test. So the armrests are soft, and they would be great places to put my elbows, but I can't really use them if my hands are on the steering wheel. And as a driver who likes to drive, I like to keep my hands on the steering wheel.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna give that 2 elbows down. I want to move them to maybe the 25% space, because if I were to use them, they'd be nice, but I don't know, I just like driving is all. Let's talk about family friendliness. Where rear seat space is concerned, you could easily put a rear-facing car seat back there. There are 2 positions for latch points, and the latch receptacles are easy to find, very well labeled. How is it getting our daughter in the back seat?
Oh, she got right in. She had no trouble getting in.
Now, I don't know if that is a testament to the Atlas Cross Sport, or if that's a testament to all the child-focused yoga she's been doing. Maybe she's getting spry.
That's true. How was it climbing in the back seat? Was it easy or hard?
Easy, okay. Thank you for weighing in. Give me a high five. Oh, and because we love our daughter, there are vents back there. What do we think, family friendly?
Absolutely.
Family friendly. Have you subscribed to Micah Drives? Oh, you haven't? Well, at 50,000 subs, just to incentivize you, I'm gonna tell you a terrible dark secret about my hair.
Can I state that it is a dark and useful secret?
Like being on the dark side of the Force?
Yes.
Yes, I have powers some consider unnatural. Style! As mentioned previously, this is basically an Atlas with the cut off of it. Thank you, Sensi. They took 5.2 inches off the back, 6 if it's warm, and they made it more of a coupé style profile. And what do you think aesthetically? Any reactions?
From afar, I thought it was a smaller vehicle. Like something about the way it's proportioned makes it look like a smaller vehicle.
I wonder if that has to do with wheel size. This is the R line, and the R line has 21-inch wheels. So as those get bigger, by percentage, the body may seem smaller. There's something about ratios there. I guess the bigger question is, do you like what you see?
I do, although I tend to like Volkswagens.
By the way, that R line also includes a different grille, different bumpers, different trim. So this is the sportiest rendition of Atlas Cross Sport. Haven't said Sport Cross yet. One peculiarity of the design, if you look at it back and you look at the exhaust outlets, those are not exhaust outlets. It's like a vestigial expression of exhaust outlets. Just don't look under the bum of your Atlas Cross Sport and it'll be okay.
How often is the average person doing that?
I mean, the perverts all the time.
Okay.
At least according to an anecdotal cross-section of people on Instagram, the Atlas Cross Sports style is a little bit polarizing. What do you think? Tell us in the comments section, won't you? If you're at all curious what I'm driving or flying between YouTube videos, follow us on Instagram. I'm this guy and she's that lady. And together we are these people in motion. Let's take a left here to dive into the in-motion segment and see how the Atlas Cross Sport steers. The steering to me, feels light and a little bit numb, kind of like when you put your hand into the cooler for the 8th White Claw. And I think if you were to drive this with any great frequency, you'd probably appreciate the fact that it moves with a light feel. Very easy to maneuver if you're going to the store or meandering through a random neighborhood that you have dropped into and you want to freak the neighbors out. Who's that guy driving that Volkswagen? He's driving like a madman. By the way, normally we'd have Evie drive, but we do not have time to do that today because we are in such a rush. So I'm just going to be your Evie-style proxy.
Okay.
I don't know about this. Look at that squirrel. Who wants a farro salad?
Noah.
Oh, the younger Muzio coming in strong. You realize she's going to be the future of this channel.
I do, of course.
Yeah, one day we'll be replaced.
After the video, could you fix my toy, Daddy?
I certainly can fix your toy, especially if you keep the quips coming. They're very funny. Ride quality is good. Have you noticed any unjarring moments?
No.
Unjarring?
Yes.
Well, yes, I
They are
have not.
all-
Also not. Yes, noticed them.
They are all unjarring.
Yes. Have you noticed? Yes, good. You have noticed the unjarring moments. And in case you thought we scripted these things, that is your proof.
No one thinks that.
Yeah. I don't not want you to not want the unjarring moments to unjar you. Ride quality's good. And it's also quiet in here too.
Thank goodness, or else we wouldn't be able to hear all this witty commentary.
Yeah, all this well thought out, tightly scripted verbiage. This seems like a good enough moment. Needless full throttle acceleration. Hey! So the V6 that's in our tester pulls with reasonable gusto, but I'm gonna slow down and we're gonna leave from a stop. And what I'd like you to do is think about what would the ideal, what's your perfect state acceleration? Smooth, almost just a seamless, velvety acceleration, thrust forward as though it's just effortless, without thought, it just occurs. Now tell me how that ideal state compares to what's about to occur. First you feel a little bit of a thunky thing as the engine comes back to life, and let's move away.
Oh.
You're probably thinking, what the F is that?
I am thinking that.
Fair. Okay,
it's
good.
like you're in here, man.
I'm in your head, man. The tip-in, when you first hit the accelerator, it's kind of lackadaisical and then too robust. There's a bunch of gear changes that happen very quickly, and they don't seem to go to the same RPM space. So it's like up to second, and then it kind of holds on to second for a little long, and then it goes up to third, and there's like there's movement. It's anything but seamless. That lack of powertrain refinement, for me, a guy who gets paid to notice things and complain about them, is vexing. And I don't like to be vexed.
I thought you were going to say exciting, because now you have so much to talk about.
Don't worry, sweetie, I'll find something to talk about. Overall, there are things I like about how the Atlas Cross Sport drives, and some things I don't. Moving on. Emotion factor! I suspect some people that are our age, late 30s, early 40s, maybe they grew up, had a Jetta when they were younger, maybe they had a Beetle when they were younger, like they had all this Volkswagen experience and that built up a certain level of nostalgia. And now that they're professionals, oh gosh, that weird powertrain behavior is starting to bother me. Let's let the nostalgia wash over me now. Have very fond memories of Volkswagens of yore, but they need something that's a little bit larger, a little bit more practical, has room for the family, maybe you're going antiquing. I don't know what people our age do anymore, but
Clearly.
yeah. So maybe there's a nostalgia component that adds to the emotion factor. What do you think?
I think that's a good guess, because when I heard we were going to be driving this, I was excited because I have that nostalgia factor. But actually sitting in here and assessing how I feel, if there is an emotion, I don't know. There's a lot going on in the world now. It's going to take a lot more for the car to really pull me in.
So you're conflicted with the emotion factor. I would say there is one there to be found, either through distinct aesthetic or reminiscence of a bygone era. If you're feeling an emotion for the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, click the Kelley Blue Book's listing link in the description and buy one of your own. Remarks! The V6 we're driving is not particularly efficient. If you want to have a more efficient SUV, you could get a Passport, and that would certainly fit the bill. You can also get the base turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's a 2-liter. That is a more efficient choice, obviously less powerful. That is another way to go. If conversely you'd like something that can tow, go with the V6 and can tow up to 5,000 pounds. I'm done talking about engines. Interestingly, even though adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist are increasingly standard features on modern SUVs, they are not standard here. So you have to move your way up to the SE Tech package to get them, which moves the price tag up to about $37,000. But they seem to work, I don't know, well enough. Well, here, let's experience that for ourselves. Oh boy, I sure am not paying attention. It did it. So you have to pay extra for these two features that are very, very common. So common, they're standard on the Toyota Corolla. As long as you're in the mood to spend extra money, if you want all-wheel drive, that's going to cost you $1,900. Probably $1,900 well spent going and living your adventurous life in your Atlas Cross Sport. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard, which is fab. There's a basic 6.5-inch screen that comes on the lowest trim, but as you move up to this 8-inch screen. The basic system has 2 USB ports. The 8-inch system has 5. That means there's ports in the back there, which is really neat. I will note, though, that the front ports are hidden in this little port cave, and it's not illuminated at night. So if you're trying to connect a USB cable at night, good luck.
I noticed the system could be better set up for somebody who is trying to touch buttons and not look at it, because I prefer physical buttons on the periphery.
Even though they're not physical buttons, they're very reactive. It takes a very light touch, and they work very well. No, cancel. I don't want to talk to you.
Pardon?
You heard me.
Please speak quieter.
Wow.
You want to get into this? No, screw you.
Please speak quieter.
Is this quiet enough? Is this good? Are you happy now?
You can say, enter address or call, followed by a contact.
Have you ever gotten into a beef with your Volkswagen? Our car has the optional 360-degree camera system, and man, it is cool in that it has a great many angles, although I do wish the screen quality was a little bit higher res. Resolution aside, though, it is a very, very useful interface. You can see all around the vehicle in a wide variety of ways. Speaking of parking, our SEL Premium trim with the R-Line Atlas Cross Sport has the auto park feature. Should we try out auto park?
We for sure should.
Well, then let's do it.
Why did you say you're only gonna speak louder too?
I was just being silly is all.
Because you're always funny.
Aww. That's very sweet of you to say. Perfect.
Voice operation ended after a 3-minute pause. To start voice operation again, please press the push to...
It wasn't over.
Man, Atlas, you have got to give it a rest. And that felt very passive-aggressive, too.
It totally did.
Yeah, like, I've been waiting 3 minutes, but I guess I have to stop now. Okay, we got an auto park opportunity. Well, let me push the button. That's pretty tight.
It is pretty tight.
Okay. I don't know about that. Nope. I don't feel good about this. Let this be a lesson in faith.
I am going to be very impressed.
Mission accomplished. I'm going to take a picture with my phone.
That was very impressive.
Oh, that auto park system worked really well. Hey, I'm sorry, car.
Please repeat.
Just trying to tell you that I'm sorry for how I acted, and I want to make amends.
You can say, enter address or call, followed by a contact.
Look, I'm just trying to say I'm sorry.
Voice operation paused. To continue voice operation, briefly press the push to talk button 1 time. Press the push to talk button twice to end voice operation.
This ain't over. As you probably know, I have a day job at Kelley Blue Book. We had a long-term Volkswagen Atlas press car. It was with us for a year, and I had trouble getting its foot activated, the hands-free power liftgate, to work sometimes. So let's see if I can get it to work on the Atlas Cross Sport. Hey. Is there anything we missed? If so, tell us in the comment section. Give us your own remarks. In fact, label it remarks. Get in on the game. Synopsis. In thinking of the Atlas Cross Sport and its essence, it's very roomy. It has style that's not really for me, but I know some people do like it, and it will cause its owners to burn more fuel than they did before. To me, the Atlas Cross Sport is the suburban house outside of Los Angeles of SUVs. It's like living in Rancho Cucamonga, where like, wow, look at this space and everything, but then you have to like burn down a bunch of fuel going into work every day. It's a whole thing. Seriously, I looked on Zillow earlier. You can buy a massive house out there.
Yeah, you've got to stop doing that.
You gotta stop doing that. Hey, have you subscribed to Micah Drives? If you haven't, please do. At 100,000 subs, I'm going to review a windowless white van. If you're curious at all what I am driving and flying between YouTube videos, you can follow me over on Instagram, and please follow Evie as well if you're curious what our family's up to. And lastly, I'd like to say welcome and thank you for all the people who have started following us recently thanks to our helicopter videos. I don't know if I've received so much love in a very long time. Certainly not from the Volkswagen Atlas, so you guys are making up the difference. So welcome. Sweetie, did you have a good review of the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, which I said correctly the entire time through? High five?
I did.
Sweetie back there, you want a high five? Boop! And you, come get your high five.